Welcome to the MOTO Freak channel. Greetings to all viewers, subscribers, supporters. So to the point. The Renault 1.2 Tce engine, primarily identified by the H5F engine code, is a 1.2-liter four-cylinder turbocharged gasoline engine that was widely used across various Renault, Dacia, Nissan, and even some Mercedes-Benz models, like the Citan. It was a significant engine for the Renault-Nissan alliance, aiming to provide a balance of performance and efficiency in a compact package. However, it gained a reputation for significant and well-documented issues, leading to widespread dissatisfaction among owners and even legal action in some cases. Let's break down its characteristics, history, and versions. The 1.2 Tce H5F engine was introduced around 2012. It replaced older, naturally aspirated engines and aimed to offer better performance with lower displacement due to turbocharging. It was produced in various power outputs, typically ranging from 115 HP to 130 HP, e.g., Tce 115, Tce 120, Tce 125, Tce 130. Models commonly equipped with this engine include Renault, Clio 4, Captur, Megane 3, Cadger, Scenic 3. Dacia, Duster, Docker, Logi. Nissan, Juke, Pulsar, Qashqai 2. Mercedes-Benz, Citan. It's important to distinguish this older 1.2 Tce H5F four-cylinder from a newer 1.2 Tce HR12 engine, three-cylinder, found in more recent models like the Austral, E-Space, and new Dacia Duster. The issues discussed below primarily pertain to the older H5F. Review and opinions, general sentiment. Initial reviews often praise the 1.2 Tce for its smoothness and refinement. Compared to some older naturally aspirated units, or even some diesels, it was generally quieter and offered a more refined power delivery. Good low-end torque. The turbocharger provided a decent pull from low RPMs, making it feel sprightly in city driving. Decent performance for its size. It delivered adequate power for most everyday driving scenarios. However, these positive initial impressions were often overshadowed by the engine's long-term reliability issues. Advantages. Compact size. Allows for better packaging in smaller vehicles. Turbocharged performance. Provides good power and torque for its displacement. Relatively smooth operation. When new and functioning correctly, it was a refined engine. Disadvantages and major problems. The 1.2 Tce H5F engines are notoriously known for a series of design flaws leading to significant problems. Excessive oil consumption. This is the most widely reported and severe issue. A design flaw, particularly related to the crankcase ventilation system and piston rings, led to oil entering the combustion chamber and being burned off. This often required owners to frequently top up oil, sometimes leading to engine damage if neglected. Renault later introduced modified piston rings to address this, but many earlier engines were affected. Timing chain issues. While it uses a timing chain, generally considered maintenance-free, there are frequent reports of timing chain stretch and tensioner failures. This can lead to incorrect valve timing, poor engine performance, and in severe cases, catastrophic engine failure. Carbon deposits. Direct injection engines are prone to carbon buildup on intake valves and in the combustion chamber. In the 1.2 Tce, this was exacerbated by the oil consumption issue, leading to further performance degradation, misfires, and potentially burned exhaust valves. Burned exhaust valves. A direct consequence of high oil consumption and carbon buildup, leading to poor compression, misfires, and the need for costly cylinder head repairs or engine replacement. Ignition coil and spark plug failures. While less critical than internal engine problems, these were also reported as recurring issues. Engine knocking/pre-ignition. Due to oil in the combustion chamber and carbon deposits, the engine could experience knocking or pre-ignition, leading to further stress on components. Faults and breakdowns. Loss of power, often due to timing chain issues, turbocharger problems, or excessive carbon buildup. Rough idling and misfires. Symptoms of carbon deposits, burn valves, or faulty ignition components. Engine warning lights, commonly illuminated for various sensor faults or engine performance issues. Complete engine failure, seizure in extreme cases, particularly with ignored oil consumption. Engines could seize due to oil starvation or severe internal damage. Lawsuits and investigations. The widespread nature of these problems led to collective lawsuits against Renault-Nissan in several countries, forcing the manufacturers to acknowledge the issues and provide some recourse for affected customers. Fuel consumption. Official figures generally indicated good fuel economy due to the engine's small displacement and turbocharging. However, real-world fuel consumption can vary significantly, especially if the engine is suffering from the common issues. Users on forums have reported figures ranging from 6 to 7L/100 km on highways to 10 to 11L/100 km in heavy city traffic. Some reports suggest that if the engine is burning oil, fuel efficiency can also be negatively impacted. Timing. The Renault 1.2 Tce H5F engines use a timing chain. This component is theoretically designed to last the life of the engine. However, as mentioned under disadvantages, premature timing chain stretch and tensioner failure are known problems with this engine, often necessitating costly replacement. This issue is sometimes linked to oil quality and change intervals. Oil type. Renault generally recommended oils conforming to their RN0700 or RN0710 specifications, often with ASEA A3/B4 or ASEA C3 and viscosities like 5W30 or 5W40. Crucial recommendation for this engine, due to the known oil consumption issues, is highly recommended to check oil levels very frequently, far more often than typical recommendations, possibly every 1,000 to 2,000 kilometers. Use high-quality synthetic oil, adhering strictly to manufacturer specifications or even using a slightly more robust oil, e.g., higher HDHS viscosity if recommended for the climate. Reduce oil change intervals. Many specialists and affected owners advise changing the oil much more frequently than the manufacturer's suggested 20,000 kilometers or 30,000 kilometers, often recommending every 10,000 kilometers or annually. Consider engine flush treatments before oil changes to help remove sludge and carbon deposits. In summary, the Renault 1.2 Tce H5F engine, while offering decent performance and refinement when new, has a documented history of significant reliability issues, primarily related to excessive oil consumption, timing chain problems, and carbon buildup, which can lead to costly repairs or even engine replacement. Prospective buyers of used vehicles with this engine should exercise extreme caution, ensure a full service history is available, and ideally have a thorough pre-purchase inspection that specifically checks for these known problems. Regular and diligent oil checks and more frequent oil changes than factory recommendations are critical for owners of these engines. The newer 1.2 Tce HR12 3-cylinder engine is a different design and does not carry the same problematic reputation as the older H5F. Thank you for watching the video, and I invite you to subscribe to the MOTO Freak channel. Greetings to everyone, and see you in the next episode. See you soon.